All right, so today is a great day. You think it's cold here, huh?
It's not bad if you're bundled up.
I think you should have been here 2 days ago when it was 26 at night.
Oh, jeez.
You know, it's funny. I posted on Instagram about hey, it's cold here, and I had to correct myself as soon as I posted because I said, you guys in Sweden, and they're like, now I got all these people from Sweden DMing me this morning, like, oh, it's like 0.2 or whatever here. Yeah. So it's kind of funny, but like I mentioned, these walks in the morning and choosing between doing indoors or outdoors. This is more for my mind. People think, oh, well, why do you work out, or why do you continue to do what you do? And it's honestly more for my mind. If you ask me, like, is it more physical or is it mental? It's more mental at this point because I love to train and just do what I do. I want to still have a good physique, but I think for me it's more like getting up in the morning and having my mind clear and focusing on what I need to do. And today's tasks are pallet racks for the warehouse, my booth for the Fit Expo LA. Need to finalize that. I ordered some fathead stuff, finalizing some nutrition stuff, getting trademarks done. We have a financial advisor meeting at 12 o'clock. I have a dinner at 6 o'clock to talk about some restaurant stuff, and then our training in between. So it's pretty simple.
Nice.
So let's talk about a couple. I know people ask me, about finance and bodybuilding, right? How did I become financially sound? Is that kind of what the question was?
Successful, yeah.
Listen, in the beginning, I know there's a lot of perception out there that, listen, Jay came from a lot of money or whatever, but that really wasn't the case. I did well through my younger years because I worked in my brother's business. They had a very successful business, but I wasn't rich by any means. I didn't come from a family of money, so I struggled a lot in the beginning. It wasn't easy. I worked security, and I worked at my sister's restaurant. I worked golf course maintenance when I was competing at the teen nationals. And then I ended up working in my friend's heating AC business.
Oh, wow.
Kind of doing odds and ends, and just lived on a broke schedule, really, just enough to finance myself to go to the gym. I drove a piece of shit car. Carrie worked, so she helped support. And that really was that was how it all kind of started. And, and then eventually I started, making sponsorship money. But I did the small mail order, and I was selling an 8x10 and a t-shirt. Chris Aceto talked me into doing that, and I was able to get a few bucks. Remember, for me to make $100 a week extra was huge for me. I remember, that's the funny thing is I would have Friday night where we'd go to dinner, and it was a $20 meal. And that's how much we could afford to eat out once a week, and we just hoped that we could do that every Friday. That was our time, because I would go have a good meal because I spent all week training, and it was like a job. And that's what I usually did on a Friday night. Spent $20 at this place called Beeman's Taverns. It was in West Boylston, and I would go there and eat, and it was great. So
wow.
So once I started getting paid through Weeder and started to book guest posings, I started the merchandising, which really, started with, doing, t-shirts, and, I did the videos, and I remember Mitsuru used to come and shoot all the videos, right?
Yeah.
That was kind of my early social media, so that's how I was able to make money in the beginning. And then, I started Cutler.com in 2000. I remember I had a girl build it. The girl that built Monica Brantz actually built mine, and she kind of led me to her. And then I started doing a lot of business through that, and we did stuff out of my house. Obviously, started in the garage, and then we ended up going into a warehouse now, and I have all the brands. I started supplements, but I had a lot of endorsement deals over the year, and you know, I started with Chic super young, and then I got all the other deals with like Smart Shake, and you know, I did the Fat Grips, and I did you know, the
OGO.
yeah, the OGO bags.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think at one time I had 14 sponsors, but I did it through the success of competing. And then of course, you know, I invested out. I mean, we can go on the list of all the investments I did. I've been in everything from, you know, real estate to selling cars to, you know, I mean, recently the cannabis and you know, ammo manufacturing to, you know, endless real estate deals, land deals, golf course deals. I mean, a lot of money was made and turned. A lot of, you know, investments, a lot of different stocks and mutual funds, my retirement plans. So there's a lot of great like streams that I've actually kind of diversified and was able to, you know, live a little more of a comfortable lifestyle, but it came with struggles. I mean, it's not always been easy. And
But let me ask you something. When you first started and when you were young, before you know, start making any like real money, did you know any of these things about investments and?
yeah, I mean, I had great advisement, you know, and I remember I started bodybuilding. I started bodybuilding really because I never thought I'd be Mr. Olympia, but I said, oh, I can make money doing this. Like,
Yeah.
I can be marketable and I can teach people, and like that was kind of my thought from the beginning. So I wasn't looking at like, oh, I'm going to win the Olympia and make a ton of money.
Yeah.
I just remember people telling me you can't make money in bodybuilding, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to make money in bodybuilding, whether I open a gym or,
Yeah.
you know, I personal train, or like, dude, there's so many people that start off with a quest to become a professional, great bodybuilder on the male and female side, and they end up owning a business. And that structure of the training, and you know yourself because you've trained for shows, and like that really builds a lot of character in order to be self-sufficient to run your own business.
Discipline, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there's nothing harder than training and getting your body where it needs to be, and, you know, winning shows. Like, everything else is a piece of cake after that. Like, going and winning the Olympia was the hardest thing I've ever done. You know, business to me is just kind of easy. Like, it's all relationships and putting out solid products and doing that kind of stuff, and you're really enjoying it. And I tell everyone, if you're passionate about it, you'll be great at it. So, like, I didn't know that I would be great at all these things. And when someone sparks an interest to me and it seems challenging, that's why I jump at opportunities. So, like, if something's super challenging to me, like, that's what I thrive on. It's not even about making money anymore as much as, like, I want to feel self-worth of, like, wow, I achieved this or that. So, you know, for me, like, some people, like, you know, they take those aspirations and, like, they start a family and they say, I want to be a great dad, and I want to watch my kids grow into this and kind of spread my, like, all the things I learned and teach my kids or whatever. See, I don't have that, you know, I don't have that outlet, and you know, I've answered this question a bunch of times. I don't really, it's never crossed my mind, like, I want to have children, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, my purpose to me is, like, to be someone that's an influence to a big, broad audience, and not necessarily focused on, like, that's not my goal, is really to raise kids and, like, spread those words to that. And some people find it like, I don't understand that, but listen, we all do what we do. It's like I mentioned on my Instagram, like, a couple of days ago, I'm like, listen, man, it's about staying in your lane. The New Year's, like, don't judge people on, like, their life decisions if it doesn't affect you, you know?
Right.
So I tell everyone, we all find our own path, and that's what we want to do. And, you know, at 45, like, I'm probably the happiest I've been in my life, because I feel like now I'm settled in, and I kind of know who I am, and I know my direction. Like, I've never really been lost, but, like, when I stepped away from bodybuilding, I was scared, because I'm like, wow, what am I going to put my effort forward into now? And that's when I made the decision, hey, I want to build business and build the empire bigger than what it is. And I want to take the time to do that, and take time away from the gym and the eating patterns, and, you know, even being, like, who I was as a top tier bodybuilder, I want to transpire into the business guy. Like people like an A-Rod, like that's inspiring to me. Like he was a great ball player, but now he's transpired into business, and you know, that's exciting to me to see someone go like from one extreme to another extreme. Like those people really are drivers for what I want to do. So
Nice.
like I have a lot of exciting things I want to work on, and you know, people keep asking me, what are you doing? Like, you know, I did like a podcast thing last night, and they're like, you know, talk about something. I don't like to talk about it. I just like to do it and display it. And you know, right now I can tell you this month's focus, like I told you my task today, this month's focus is launching the new brand, which everyone's excited about. I'm super excited because some of the products are a little unique, and it's not necessarily exactly what's on the market. These are very, there's a lot of different things.
Nice.
And I'm excited to show everyone that it's a whole different model from what I'm used to. And it's interactive with my consumers, meaning I'm not just putting it in places, hey, sell this and sell that with everybody else's. I'm actually the one behind it and actually selling it like direct. So it's a good feeling, you know.
You took your time on that because it was supposed to come out actually earlier, and you said, no, let's delay. I want to make sure it's actually perfect.
Yeah, and you know, Dave, I'll be honest, and I'll tell people, and hopefully we can show this. I did sustainability tests on the products, and you know, I wanted to make sure, and what that basically does is it puts it in an air chamber, and basically, you know, the product sits like it speeds up the, you know, the shelf life of it. So you know, I can determine in a year what the product is going to do on the shelf to make sure, because when you come up with new formulas and new ingredients, you know, you're not really sure how, once it sits or it sits in a container on a plane, how it's going to react, right?
Yeah, the shelf life.
So, you know, I had to make sure that everything was proper, and we did have some a couple issues where I wasn't so sure, you know, I liked the texture, so we pulled back a little bit, but this has been ongoing since pretty much probably July or August, I think.
Wow.
So we're looking at, you know, 6 months, and we plan to launch in October, but that didn't transpire. And in the meantime, we've learned a lot of other things, and you know, the whole digital side's changing too. So it's a lot to learn. You know, it's a lot to take in, but I'm pretty confident on what direction I want to go. And really, you know, it's just about interacting. And listen, I'm still selling the old stuff because it's not like the old stuff's bad, but you know, I bought that inventory from my own company, and you know, that's, you know, it's time to move on to the new stuff and some different stuff that's kind of new to the market, you know.
That's awesome.
So that's it. So, you know, that hopefully that answered that question.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.